And hello everyone, welcome back to another Pascal tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be taking a look at procedures. So a procedure is basically a piece of code that you can call over and over again that contains some other code that it executes. As an example, this right here is the main procedure of the program. It has some code inside of it, so here, that we can use to make the program run. So let's create a procedure, say hello. And this say hello, and let's actually say say quick hello. And this procedure then has a begin and an end. And in here you can put any code you want this procedure to run once you run this procedure. And here you can just say write line, hello world, and hello to you too. There we go. So this say hello procedure will run this when we call it. So I'm just going to go here. And we can call this say hello procedure inside of our main procedure. If we run this program, and that's without that bar, if we run this program, we get hello world and hello to you too. And we can of course use this as many times as we want, and we'll print out these values as many times as we call it. So by calling it here, remember the brackets as well, but by calling it here, it will execute everything that is inside of it. It can of course become way more complex, so let's create another procedure called say hello. And this is just going to be a normal hello, not a quick hello. As you can see the difference, one has a Q, one doesn't. And then we can pass in variables that we want to use inside of this procedure, such as the username, their favorite color, and both of these will be of type string, and in age, which is of type integer. So here we have two values that are of type string, so we only need to specify it once here, and here we have one value that is of type integer. We can then create our begin and end, and let's just go write line, hello, with the username, you are, age, years old, and your fave color is fave color. So now we can use say hello here. So say hello, we can pass in the username, so let's say Jack. They are 21, which is actually later, and their favorite color is blue, and they are 21. Now if you run this, we get, hello Jack, you are 21 years old, and your fave color is blue. And we can of course do this for multiple people. So here we have Mike, and here we have Sally. Mike's favorite color is red, and Sally is green. Mike is 19, and Sally is 40. We run it, and now for each one of them, they will have their own sentence constructed, and we didn't have to copy and paste this right line over and over again to get this result. Procedures can as well have their own variables inside of them. You don't need to just pass in values or variables. For example, procedure print sum, and print sum contains num1, num2, and both of them are integer. We then have a var section where we can specify variables that can only be used inside of this procedure. We cannot use these variables outside of this procedure. Take note of that. Then we have ons, which is of type integer, and we have our begin and end. Then ons becomes num1 plus num2, and we write line ons. Now we can say print sum of 10 and 20, and let's also bring a variable in here, my num, which is of integer. We can also go print sum, my num, and let's say 5, and let's just make my num something such as 90. So you can also pass in normal variables in here. You don't need to specify set values. Anyhow, so now it has its own variable. We cannot use uns here. So we can't say write line uns. This uns is only available inside of this procedure, meaning we cannot use this variable inside of our main procedure. Now if we run this, and my bad, I forgot my semicolon. Now we have 30, so 10 and 20, and 95, my num, and 5. My num is 90. And this is the basics of a procedure. It executes an amount of code for you, and then you only have to call it once. So if you need to execute a specific code more than once, and the code is very similar, just use a procedure, because then you don't have to copy and paste 10, 20 lines of code. You can just run one line of code, and that will do it for you. For those of you coming from different languages, procedures do not have return statements. Return statements are for functions, which we'll get to in the next video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all again in the next Pascal tutorial.